in a lineup, and that's why you need to know Spanish. All these trailers are from Mexico. I just watched that guy over there, Titanium Express, all wheels steel, like very cheaply appointed truck, and he just dropped the trailer. And I saw on the sign on his door it says Mexico, you know. So this is Laredo, and my big piece I'm picking up is, I already saw it, but first I saw a guy on a step deck, and he has that piece on, right? And before when I was booking this, they sent me pictures of this huge piece, and actually it was sitting on a step deck trailer, right? So I assumed it was the same trailer that just brought it from Mexico. And I go over to the guy and I said, is it really 88,000 pounds? And I see that actually the guy is not taking off chains, he's chaining it down. And I said, wait, are you from Mexico? And he looks American. I look at his license plate, Ohio. And he says, no, I just got it. They just loaded on me, and now I see he was, but it was cool to see his load, because I went around, I see what he used for chaining down, and turns out this machine has lots of holes. It's pretty much like a piece of pipe, humongous pipe, I don't know, 30 feet wide, and then it has some kind of a pump, like a pumping house in the front. So you will see it like a big assembly, and it needs to be tarped, unfortunately, right? And it's right now it's 41C, which I think is about 110F. But anyway, why I mentioned you need to know Spanish is that I stopped there after I entered the gate, right? This is a trucking company, so clearly they specialize in cross-border movements. There's a bunch of these in Laredo, so they just deal with these Mexican guys, right, that bring it from Mexico, and then they reload something that goes back into Mexico. It's like a brisk business, but all their trailers are pretty bad, very old, ugly, and that's why lots of Americans don't want to go into Mexico, right? Like I remember Landstar, they did not allow us, well, unless you are owner-operator that want to send, like you can stop at the border, and then a Mexican carrier comes and picks up your trailer, and I remember they were paying $500 US a day. But lots of guys said it was not worth it, because when the trailer comes back, sometimes it would be missing lights, or they would swap aluminum rims for steel rims. It's a poor country. But anyway, so I came in, I go inside the office, I check in, the guy gives me this load ticket, and he says, you'll see a guy in a red forklift, Mike, yeah, right. And of course it's Mike, it's probably Miguel, but a nice enough guy. He was in one of these humongous Taylor forklifts. Like if you remember, one of my loads was, I picked up a Taylor forklift chassis at a factory. I forgot, I think it was Alabama or Louisiana, somewhere there. And so he's sitting inside that forklift, so I show him this. I say, I wait in the truck, right? He nods. I say again, I wait in the truck, right? I'm over there. You see black truck? The guy nods again. And then I saw these guys over here, but I was not sure what they were doing. Like I'm sitting over there, like my trailer is parked on that side, whereas that white Freightliner is in the back, like near those trees over there. So this is like a big circle, right? And I'm trying to park in there behind the first guy that has this big pipe, right, with a pump. And I parked behind him, and now I see these guys, right? Because I did not see this little circle in here before. And it's been like 40 or 50 minutes since I talked to this Miguel, right? So I go back, and he motions me, and he says, you have to go there. And I'm like, what the heck? What do you mean you go there? I've been here like almost an hour. Well, you don't want to miss your spot in the line. And I said, why you didn't tell me before? I told you, shall I wait in the truck? Because, you always ask them what to do, right? So they're supposed to give you clear instructions, right? Oh, it's first come, first served basis. I'm telling you guys, you're right about me having angelic patience. You know, somebody else will probably already start shooting, you know. So anyway, I go inside the office. I say basically, gentlemen, could you, like, I was here, you remember me? I said truck 305. You gave me this piece of paper. You said go see Mike. And Mike, I asked Mike, shall I wait in the truck? He says yes, and now he says there's a lineup. And this guy in the office says, yeah, first come, first serve basis. I said, why didn't tell me before? I thought the procedure was to take the load ticket, give it to the forklift guy, and then the forklift guy instructs you what to do, right? Well, it's not been an hour, but we'll honor. No, how did he put it? He said, your company will honor the waiting time. And that, like, I said, what company? What do you mean honor? I'm the company, I'm the carrier. Who will honor the waiting time? So now I was really getting, you know, they were rubbing me against my skin anyway. So I called the, like, against, well, what's the expression? To rub somebody, to get under somebody's skin. But in Russian we say gladить против шерсти, you know, to kind of like stroke somebody against the flow of hair. That means to irritate somebody. But anyway, I called the broker, right? That's your first line of defense. You call the broker, in this case Landstar, and they said, you guys paying anything for waiting time? You know, I know this load pays good, but my paper says load tomorrow at 8 o'clock, right? No, you insisted I'm here today, Monday at 110F, right? At least I'm sitting in the truck, right? So why should I complain, right? Maybe it'll cool down a little bit. It's just that I don't understand this kind of... No, but that's the language barrier, right? So these guys, they hire, you know, local guys. So probably most of these guys are from Mexico. And the worst part is that they don't understand you, but they still nod, you know? That's the worst part, because you think you have some communication going, whereas in fact there's miscommunication going, right? So the guy said, shall I wait in the truck? Yeah. And then 1 hour later, there's a lineup. You don't want to miss your spot. So it's just humor, you know, like stuff like this just makes me laugh. But I'm telling you, I'm a very, very patient guy. But I remember when my father used to give me a beating sometimes, because sometimes I was not a very good student, right? Well, I would do something in school. Well, we're on private property, so we can film and drive. It's all safe. Yeah, I'm just following these guys. You see, it's amazing. I'm stuck with these flatbed and step decks. You see, and of course, these guys take much more than one piece, right? You know what I mean? Like, loading me is actually easier than loading these guys, because they can take all these pieces. Like, okay, this guy has what, 3, then that guy with pipe, you know, especially pipe takes a long time, right? Because there's so much of it. But what do you do, right? Poor communication between the driver and the customer. And the driver, me specifically, ask him, right? So it's not my fault. I asked him twice. What do I do? Where do I wait? In the truck? And that's why I started saying that you need to know Spanish. All right, I'm idling. I cannot sit in the truck at 100C. And in case some idiot was asking about this, you guys see this, right? That's what happens when you show people videos in 1080p. Okay, so maybe I should switch back to 360F. Then you will not notice such, but that's what it is. You see, I use baby wipes to clean up dirt off the plastic, and the byproduct of this is that it leaves small fibers. Okay, so anyway, the good thing is that why I'm not in too sour of a mood is that oh well, maybe I was a bit in a rush to say that, because now it's plus 41 C. Now I'm telling you, if I had my choice when to load this, I would load freaking 6-7 o'clock, because it's too hot outside. But no, what I'm saying is that they said this piece was 88,000 pounds, and looking at it, I don't think it's that heavy. And the guy in the step deck, he was looking at his gauges, and he has a weird step deck, you know, like one of those heavy haul step decks with he has a flip box in the front and the gooseneck, you know, and he also has a flip axle. So it's a massive, probably super expensive Trail King step deck, you know, like basically 3+1, kind of like almost like mine. He probably can take the same weight, except that his trailer does not have outside rails. So actually my trailer is much stronger because I have 4 rails, whereas all step decks, they have just 2 rails. See, like this guy over here, you can see those 2 black bands in the middle. So that's the actual frame, right? The stuff on the outside is just aluminum, right? It's nothing. If you try to load something heavy on this, it'll just crumble, you know? Like even these guys over here. See, even a flatbed, that's just outside steel. The strongest point is those two metal beams that you can see in the middle, right? And that's the problem with these trailers. So they cannot take like a heavy track and wheeled machine. You know, let's say even if it's like low and it can go on a flat or step, but because so much weight is on the outside, whereas there's no frame, right? No beams, you can actually damage the trailer. But what I liked about, so he says on his trailer that load is, and mine is the same, it's 2 identical pieces. He said his load is like the top he measured, he said it's 14 feet 3 inches, you know. So I know he will be in big trouble. He already has his permits and there'll be lots of detours, and he was asking me about low bridges on 402 and 401, and I said, yeah, there are some over there that's like 14 feet. So you'll probably have to go, you know, bypass them. And so if he's on a step deck and he has those small tiny tires, and actually I think his deck is probably, I'm guessing, like 32 feet off the ground, because it's one of those trailers where there's nothing covers the wheels in the back, like it's open floor, you know, and his wheels, the top of his wheels actually stick out from the deck, you know, those trailers. So they're not very useful because you cannot load anything over there, right, because they're spinning wheels. But because of that, the deck is only slightly higher than, let's say, on my trailer. But still, even if he's, let's say, 30 inches, I'm gonna be 22, you know, because I'm gonna put this on the blocks. So 22, which is at least 8 inches lower. So I'm gonna be, if he's 14.2, so 14 minus 2, that's a 13.12, minus 10, no wait, minus 6. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be 13.6 with this thing. And also they said, so my height is gonna be perfect, maybe 1 inch, maybe like 13.7, but I can drop the suspension, right? No, I'm pretty sure I'll be legal. I'll be 13.6. So my routing will be much more straightforward than his. And also, but he's much lighter, like, because it's a step deck, right? Step deck trailers are much lighter than lowboy trailers. So I'll probably be oh, and his truck is the same as mine, 4-axle truck, beefy front axle, but it's like one of those new internationals. Cool looking truck. I should have shown it in the video, but I don't want to lose my spot in line. Cannot leave the truck. But so anyways, I'm gonna be heavier than him, but so my permits will be more money, but I'm gonna be shorter, so I can go anywhere. And also they said this piece was like 11 wide, which is BS. I looked at it, it's not that wide at all. I think it's probably, I'm thinking under 11, you know, but I'm gonna measure it. But I knew this, and so that's why I did not order permits. You know, I'm gonna order everything once I have it on my trailer. I'm gonna look at my gauges, I'm gonna measure everything, and then I will send the request to my permit company. Okay, so finally I'm next in the lineup. So I did like a huge circle, starting from there, the offices where that orange forklift is. So I had to go like this. Jeez, the sky looks amazing on this. We're shooting with the LG. And you see where the truck is passing now, that yellow tarp? So that's the piece I'm picking up. Right now it's covered in a yellow tarp. So like I said, it looks like a humongous piece of pipe. And the size under the top looks like a little micro house, like a pump house. And in the back it has this big flange. Right, so, and it's sitting on a 4-axle lowboy trailer. So we're just gonna put it on blocks. And the first guy, it's hard to see, but you might see some dark brown top sticking out over there where the forklift right now is. Like you can see the mast, the top of the mast of the forklift. So that's the first guy. He just pretty much finished chaining and, oh wait a second. So this guy is loading, is trying to hook up to the lowboy trailer with my load. Huh. But I guess it's too low. Okay, so I guess what they're doing is they're getting it ready for me. Because he cannot get, hold on, let me just check the, yeah. The big forklift guy, he cannot get in there into that space. So I guess they will park it in the middle, and then he'll lift it. This guy will drag the trailer from under it, and I'll just go under it and he'll put it down. Yeah, usually that's how they do it. Or I'll go back under it. But, and I was wondering why they have timbers under the front of the trailer, but that's why. So this guy now is trying to hook up, but even the top of his tires is much taller than the bottom of the gooseneck. So you're gonna damage his truck. But no fear, that's a company driver. Damaging the equipment, that's not his oh wow, look at that. He's went under. Boom. Wow, hooked up. Yeah, and the gooseneck of that thing is extremely short. So, but things are happening. So, I should be loading next. just this
Yeah.
side is all empty.
Yeah, it has wood just to cover the hole. They pay good for this?
Sorry?
Do they pay good for this loan?
Do they pay? Yeah, it's pretty good. But you know, it's all the permits come out of my pocket, right? I pay for all permits. The permits,
really?
you know, like oversized permits.
Yes.
It's probably gonna be like 1,500–1,600 bucks. But, you know, I have to go all across U.S. towards Michigan, and each state is usually 250–300 bucks. You know, so they pay good, but then on top of what they pay, I have to pay for this.
Pero deja que lo levante.
Well, we have to. Can we move it a little bit this way because see, we have to move it a little bit that way.
Vamos a levantarle un poquito ya porque están atorando. Vamos a levantarle aquel de volada.
Screwed up over there. Over there.
Vale. Okay.
Let me check all timbers so that they're okay. This one is.
Let me sit down.
Yeah.
This one is not sit down.
Canada. Ontario, Canada.
Nice. Yeah, that's gotta pay pretty good.
Yeah, permits are gonna be expensive too. Permits, right? They're so heavy.
Right.
But if I don't kill anybody, I do hope to make some profit.
It don't matter if you kill one or two.
It's good now. It's good that the heat is coming down. It will be easier to top this thing because they want it fully tarped.
Oh, no shit?
Yeah, I don't know why.
It doesn't make no sense. It's going underwater, ain't it?
I don't know, some kind of a pump. I couldn't even get to understand. It says pump station. It's like a...
Huh. They're gonna do it. It's an indoor, that's why.
Maybe it goes indoors or in the water.
It's got electronic shit inside of it, that's why.
Yeah.
That would make sense on the tarp part.
Yeah, when you do like this stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna cut right through it unless I cover it with something. I got a bunch of blankets. Like this side and then the other side.
You don't have one of those,
No, I just have moving blankets. I got a bunch of those.
so you didn't have none of those plastic things for the corners?
Yeah, I have those too.